I want to begin with a simple truth that changed my life forever. No one is coming to rescue you. No one is going to suddenly appear and push your life forward. The moment I truly understood that, everything changed. My confidence changed. My decisions changed. My results changed. Because when you finally accept that your progress depends on you, you unlock a level of power most people never experience. Let me ask you something. Have you ever felt like you're waiting for someone to notice you, someone to guide you, someone to give you an opportunity? If that has ever crossed your mind, I want you to pause for a second and tell me in the comments below, have you ever felt like you had to figure everything out alone? Because today, I want to talk to you about one of the most powerful abilities you can ever develop in your life, the ability to get ahead without anyone's help. Now let me be clear about something. I'm not saying that mentors, teachers, or supportive people are not valuable. They absolutely are. But if you depend on them, if you wait for them, if your progress stops when help disappears, then you are giving away control of your future. And the most successful people I have ever met refuse to do that. Early in my life, I struggled. I had no special advantages. I didn't come from wealth. I didn't have powerful connections. I worked labor jobs, washed dishes, dug ditches, and slept in cheap rooms, wondering what my future would look like. But during that time, I discovered something that completely transformed my thinking. Successful people don't wait for support. They create progress anyway. The moment you adopt this mindset, your life begins to shift. Instead of asking, who will help me? You start asking, what can I do next? And that single question changes everything. One of the biggest myths people believe is that successful individuals had someone guiding them every step of the way. But the truth is very different. The majority of successful people spent long periods of their lives figuring things out alone. They read, they studied, they experimented, they failed, they tried again. And they kept moving forward without applause, without validation, and without guarantees. Let me tell you something I learned after studying success for decades. Your independence is your greatest competitive advantage. Most people hesitate when they lack guidance. They freeze when they don't receive approval. They slow down when encouragement disappears. But the person who can move forward without external support becomes unstoppable. Because progress no longer depends on other people. It depends on decision. And every successful life begins with a decision. One day you simply decide that waiting is over. You decide that excuses are finished. You decide that whether people support you or not, whether they believe in you or not, whether they understand your vision or not, you are going forward anyway. And I want to tell you something important. The moment you make that decision, something remarkable happens inside you. Your mind becomes more resourceful. Your awareness becomes sharper. Your creativity begins to expand. Because when you stop relying on outside help, your brain activates a different level of problem solving. Now let me share something practical with you. If you want to get ahead without anyone's help, the first skill you must develop is self-direction. Self-direction means you become your own manager. You set your own goals. You create your own deadlines. You measure your own progress. Most people drift through life reacting to circumstances. But highly successful people take a completely different approach. They decide exactly where they want to go, and then they begin moving toward it whether conditions are perfect or not. Clarity is power. If you don't know exactly what you want, you will constantly wait for someone else to tell you what to do. But when your goals are crystal clear, you don't need constant guidance. Your goal becomes your compass. And here is something fascinating. Studies on high achievers consistently show that people who write down clear goals dramatically increase their chances of success. In fact, individuals with written goals often outperform those without them by a wide margin. Why? Because written goals force independent thinking. You stop drifting. You start directing. And once that happens, momentum begins. Another powerful principle I want you to remember, this action creates clarity. Many people wait until they feel confident before they begin. But confidence almost never comes first. Confidence grows from movement. The people who get ahead in life are not always the smartest, the most talented, or the most connected. They are simply the ones who start moving first. They take action while others are still analyzing. They try while others are still doubting. They learn while others are still waiting. And that simple difference compounds over time in extraordinary ways. Let me give you an example from my own experience. At one point in my life, I realized that if I wanted to succeed in sales, I had to teach myself how to sell effectively. No one was going to sit down and train me step by step. So I started reading everything I could find about selling, psychology, communication, persuasion, and personal development. Every day I studied. Every day I practiced. Every day I improved. And within a relatively short period of time, my income began to rise dramatically. Why? Because self-education is one of the most powerful ways to get ahead without relying on anyone else. Think about this carefully. We live in an age where knowledge is everywhere. Books, courses, podcasts, lectures, and insights from experts are available to anyone willing to seek them out. Yet most people never take advantage of it. They scroll endlessly through distractions while the tools for success sit right in front of them. But the independent thinker approaches life differently. They treat learning as a daily responsibility. They ask themselves constantly, what skill would make me more valuable? And then they go learn it. Here is a powerful truth that changed my career. Your income grows to the extent that you grow. Not luck, not circumstances, not connections, your growth. And when you fully understand this, you realize that waiting for help becomes unnecessary, because every day becomes an opportunity to expand your skills, knowledge, and your capability. Now I want you to think deeply about something. If nobody guided you, if nobody helped you, if nobody gave you instructions, what would you start doing today to improve your life? That question alone can wake up enormous potential inside you. Because the truth is, most people already know what they should be doing. They know they should be reading more. They know they should be learning valuable skills. They know they should be improving their discipline. But they postpone these actions because they're waiting for encouragement or structure from someone else. The independent achiever removes that waiting. They become their own source of structure. They become their own source of accountability. And once that happens, their progress accelerates in ways that surprise even them. There is another critical principle I want to share with you. If you want to move ahead without anyone's help, you must develop mental toughness. Because when you take full responsibility for your progress, you will encounter obstacles. You will face confusion. You will experience setbacks. But instead of stopping, you learn to adapt. You learn to ask better questions. You learn to search for solutions rather than sympathy. And that attitude separates high achievers from the majority of people. Most individuals quit when things become unclear. But independent achievers become curious. They ask themselves, what can this teach me? And that single shift in thinking transforms failure into feedback. Over time, this builds a powerful internal confidence. Not the kind that depends on praise, but the kind that grows from experience. You start trusting your ability to figure things out. And once that trust develops, your fear of uncertainty begins to disappear. You become comfortable taking initiative. You become comfortable trying new things. You become comfortable walking paths that others are afraid to explore. And that is where extraordinary opportunities begin to appear, because the world rewards initiative. It rewards action. It rewards the person who refuses to wait. Now let me ask you another important question. If you stopped waiting for help today, if you fully accepted responsibility for your progress, what would be the first step you would take tonight? Think about that seriously. And if you're willing, share that step in the comments. Because declaring your intention publicly creates commitment. And commitment is where real change begins. In the next part, I'm going to show you the deeper strategies that allow people to build unstoppable momentum even when they start with nothing. I'll explain how self-discipline, daily structure, and powerful habits allow you to create success completely under your own control. And once you understand these principles, you will realize something incredibly empowering. Getting ahead without anyone's help is not a disadvantage. In many cases, it becomes your greatest strength. Now let me continue with something that may surprise you. Many people believe that getting ahead without help is harder. But after decades of studying success and working with high performers, I have discovered something very different. In many cases, independence actually accelerates success. Why? Because when no one is directing you, correcting you, or pushing you forward, you develop a powerful internal driver. You become the person who decides when to begin, when to improve, and when to raise your standards. And the moment you develop that internal driver, your potential expands dramatically. One of the greatest qualities you must build if you want to move forward on your own is self-discipline. Self-discipline is the ability to make yourself do what needs to be done, when it needs to be done, whether you feel like it or not. Let me repeat that, because it is one of the most important principles of success I have ever learned. Self-discipline means doing what is necessary even when motivation disappears. Most people rely on motivation. They wait until they feel inspired. They wait until they feel energetic. They wait until circumstances feel right. But highly successful people understand a simple truth. Motivation is unreliable. Discipline is dependable. If you want to get ahead without anyone's help, discipline becomes your greatest ally. It replaces supervision. It replaces pressure. It replaces the need for someone standing behind you telling you what to do. And here is something powerful. The more you practice self-discipline, the easier it becomes. Every time you push yourself to complete an important task, your confidence grows. Every time you keep a promise to yourself, your self-respect increases. And over time, you build a reputation with yourself as someone who finishes what they start. That internal reputation is incredibly important, because when you trust yourself, you stop hesitating. You start taking bigger actions. You start pursuing larger goals. And this brings me to another key principle that independent achievers understand. Structure creates freedom. At first, this idea may sound strange. Many people think structure limits freedom. But in reality, the opposite is true. Without structure, your days become chaotic. Distractions take over. Time disappears. Energy is wasted on small things. But when you create a clear daily structure, something powerful happens. You take control of your time. And time control is life control. One of the most effective habits I ever developed was planning my day in advance. Every evening I would write down the most important tasks for the next day. I would organize them by priority. Then the next morning I would start with the most important task and work on it until it was completed. This habit alone can transform your productivity. Why? Because when you wake up with clarity, you remove hesitation. You remove confusion. You remove wasted time. Instead of asking yourself what you should do, next you simply begin. And over weeks, months, and years, this simple habit compounds into extraordinary results. Another important lesson I want you to remember is this: focus creates power. One of the biggest obstacles people face when they try to succeed independently is distraction. Modern life is full of interruptions, notifications, entertainment, and endless information. But the individuals who move ahead without help develop the ability to concentrate deeply on important work, protect their attention. They guard their time. They choose progress over distraction. And this ability to focus becomes a massive advantage. Imagine working with deep concentration for 2 or 3 hours each day on your most valuable skill. Imagine doing that consistently for months. The improvement would be dramatic. Your knowledge would expand. Your skill level would increase. Your confidence would grow. And opportunities would begin to appear that never existed before. That is the power of focused effort. Now I want to talk about something that many people misunderstand: failure. If you are trying to get ahead without anyone guiding you, failure will occasionally appear. Plans will not always work the first time. Experiments will sometimes produce unexpected results. But here is the key insight. Failure is not the opposite of success. Failure is part of success. Every successful individual you admire has made mistakes, faced setbacks, and experienced uncertainty. The difference is that they refused to interpret those moments as permanent defeat. Instead, they treated them as information. Information about what works. Information about what needs adjustment. Information about what to try next. When you adopt this perspective, fear loses its power over you. Instead of avoiding challenges, you begin to welcome them, because every challenge becomes a learning opportunity, and learning compounds faster than most people realize. One new skill learned today can multiply your opportunities tomorrow. One insight gained from a mistake can save you years of frustration in the future. This is why independent learners often progress faster than those who depend entirely on guidance. They are constantly experimenting, constantly observing, constantly adjusting, and that creates momentum. Now let me introduce another concept that has transformed the lives of many people I have coached over the years. It is called personal responsibility. Personal responsibility means accepting that you are the primary cause of your results, your choices, your actions, your habits, your decisions. When people first hear this idea, some resist it. They think about external factors. They think about circumstances, limitations, and unfair situations. But the moment you fully accept responsibility for your progress, you gain something incredibly powerful: control. Because if your actions influence your outcomes, then improving your actions improves your outcomes. And that realization puts your future back into your hands. Instead of blaming conditions, you begin asking better questions. What skill do I need to develop? What habit should I improve? What action would move me forward today? Those questions create forward motion. Now here is another important insight. People who succeed independently often develop an extraordinary level of resourcefulness. Resourcefulness means finding solutions even when resources are limited. Instead of saying, I don't have what I need, they ask, what can I do with what I have? That mindset is incredibly powerful because innovation, creativity, and progress often emerge from limitations. Many successful businesses, careers, and ideas began with very little support. What they had instead was determination and creativity. They asked questions. They tried different approaches. They refused to stop. And eventually they discovered pathways that others overlooked. If you develop resourcefulness, obstacles stop looking like walls. They start looking like puzzles. And puzzles can be solved. Let me also share something important about consistency. Getting ahead without help is rarely about one big breakthrough. It is usually the result of many small improvements repeated over time. Reading a few pages each day, practicing a skill regularly, improving your thinking little by little, making better decisions more often. These small actions may seem insignificant at first, but over time they create massive change. Think of it like compound interest. Small deposits made consistently eventually grow into something powerful. The same principle applies to personal growth. Daily improvement compounds into extraordinary ability. And that is how independent achievers build momentum. They don't rely on dramatic transformations. They rely on consistent progress. Now, I want you to reflect on something important. Right now, somewhere in the world, there is someone who started with fewer advantages than you. Less support, less guidance, less opportunity. And yet, they are moving forward anyway. Not because everything is easy, but because they decided that progress matters more than comfort. That decision is available to you right now. You don't need permission to grow. You don't need approval to improve. You don't need someone standing beside you to begin. You simply need to take the next step. And in the final part, I'm going to share the deeper mindset shifts that allow people to become truly unstoppable, the mental framework that turns self-reliance into extraordinary long-term success. Because once you master that mindset, something incredible happens. You stop asking whether you can succeed, and you start asking a much more powerful question: how far can I go? Now let me share with you the final and perhaps most important insight about getting ahead without anyone's help. At some point in your journey, you must make a quiet but powerful commitment to yourself. You must decide that your future is your responsibility, not your past, not your circumstances, not other people's opinions. Your future belongs to the decisions you make starting today. And when you fully accept that responsibility, something incredible happens inside your mind. Your attention shifts away from excuses and toward possibilities. You stop asking why things are difficult and you start asking what can be done next. That shift in thinking is where real power begins. One of the most transformative mental habits you can develop is thinking in terms of solutions. Whenever a problem appears, and problems will always appear, train yourself to immediately ask, what is the solution? Not who is to blame, not why is this unfair, but simply what can be done now. Successful people are solution-oriented. They focus their energy on progress instead of frustration. And because of that, they move forward faster than those who spend their time complaining or waiting. Let me give you a powerful principle I learned early in my career. Your life improves only when you improve. Everything begins with personal growth. If you want greater results, you must become a greater version of yourself. That means improving your thinking, your habits, your skills, and your character. And the good news is that personal growth is completely within your control. You can choose to read for 30 minutes each day. You can choose to practice discipline. You can choose to develop valuable skills. You can choose to think more positively and act more decisively. Those choices accumulate over time and they shape the direction of your entire life. Now here is something that independent achievers understand very well. They don't wait until they feel ready. They start before they feel ready. Most people believe they need confidence first, but the truth is confidence grows after you begin. Every action you take builds experience. Every experience builds competence, and competence naturally produces confidence. So if you are waiting until you feel completely prepared, you may wait forever. Instead, ask yourself a different question. What is the smallest step I can take right now? Small steps lead to momentum. Momentum leads to progress, and progress leads to transformation. Another powerful idea I want you to remember is that your environment matters. Even if you are moving forward independently, the information you expose yourself to every day influences your thinking. The books you read, the conversations you listen to, the ideas you study, all of these shape your beliefs about what is possible. If you constantly surround your mind with negativity, doubt, and limitation, your motivation will slowly decline. But if you fill your mind with ideas about growth, achievement, and possibility, something remarkable happens. Your thinking expands. Your expectations rise. Your standards improve. And when your standards improve, your actions improve as well. So be intentional about what you feed your mind every day. Think of your mind as a garden. Whatever you plant and nurture will grow. Plant discipline, plant curiosity, plant determination. And those qualities will eventually produce powerful results. Now let me share something else that people often overlook. Getting ahead without help develops a deep level of self-trust. When you solve your own problems, when you teach yourself new skills, when you push forward without constant encouragement, you begin to realize something incredibly important. You are more capable than you thought. Many people underestimate themselves because they have never truly tested their potential. They rely on external structure, external pressure, and external validation. But when you begin relying on your own initiative, you discover abilities that were hidden beneath hesitation. You discover that you can adapt. You discover that you can learn faster than you expected. You discover that you can handle challenges that once seemed intimidating. And that discovery is life-changing. Because once you trust your ability to figure things out, the world begins to feel full of opportunity instead of uncertainty. Another mindset that will help you tremendously is long-term thinking. Independent success rarely happens overnight. It grows through patience and persistence. Think of your efforts as seeds. Each book you read is a seed. Each skill you practice is a seed. Each disciplined day is a seed. At first, it may feel like nothing is happening. Progress might seem slow. Results may not appear immediately. But beneath the surface, growth is taking place. And eventually, those seeds begin to produce visible results. Your knowledge expands. Your abilities sharpen. Your opportunities increase. And suddenly, people may look at your progress and say, "You were lucky." But you will know the truth. It was not luck. It was consistency. It was discipline. It was the quiet decision to keep moving forward even when nobody was watching. Let me also remind you of something extremely important. You do not need to compete with everyone. You only need to compete with who you were yesterday. Personal improvement is the most meaningful competition in life. When you focus on becoming a little better each day, the pressure of comparison disappears. You begin measuring success differently. Did you learn something today? Did you improve a skill today? Did you move one step closer to your goal today? If the answer is yes, you are already winning. And those small victories add up over time. Now I want to leave you with one final thought that has guided me throughout my life. Your potential is far greater than you realize. Most people operate far below their true capabilities because they doubt themselves, hesitate too often, or wait for permission. But the moment you stop waiting, the moment you take ownership of your growth, the moment you commit to moving forward, regardless of support, your life begins to change. You develop strength. You develop clarity. You develop resilience. And those qualities allow you to achieve things that once seemed impossible. So starting today, make a decision. Decide that your progress will not depend on someone else's encouragement. Decide that your learning will not depend on someone else's instruction. Decide that your success will not depend on someone else's approval. Instead, depend on your discipline, depend on your curiosity, depend on your willingness to, he and I, act. Because when you build those qualities, you become the kind of person who moves forward no matter what. And people like that always find a way to succeed. If this message resonated with you, I want you to write something powerful in the comments below. Write, I move forward no matter what. Those words may seem simple, but they represent a powerful commitment to growth, a commitment to responsibility, and a commitment to creating a future that is truly your own. Thank you for spending this time with me. And remember this, your greatest advantage in life is not who helps you. Your greatest advantage is who you choose to become.